is going to be big. The green flag waves outside as we climb uphill. Cal Crutchlow, what a start from the Brit, number 35, but Miller will take the inside line into turn one.
Into the turf, come
Oh,
Rossi's
gone down.
Valentino Rossi's gone down mid-pack. It's another disaster for the Doctor. It's a third.
Quartararo is then second. Great start for Dovi. He's up inside the top four. Pol Espargaro is up into fifth as well. In fact, Dovi's third. He's now
doing a bit of a demolition job right now on Fabio Quartararo. He was very, very brave to get up the inside of Cal Crutchlow, given his lack of experience in rain conditions.
there for Valentino Rossi.
Rossi then out of Mazzano 2, out of Barcelona when he was on course for a podium, and now he's
The turn 9, Miller from Petrucci, from Dovi.
And look at Bradley Smith. He was the man in the rain conditions in FP inside that top 10.
Oh, challenge for the lead there. Danilo Petrucci on Jack Miller. He's got it. Number 9, Danilo Petrucci.
Locked out of MotoGP podium. At the moment, though, very early on, of course, they've got the top 3 places here in France.
Bradley Smith just lunging up the inside into turn 1, and he makes it stick as well.
Here comes Miller then trying to hunt down Petrucci, about fending off Pol Espargaro there. That's a battle raging for 4th and 5th.
Viñales had a disaster.
Yeah, he did. He's stuck down through La Chapelle. The Vizioso say thank you very much. He pounces. It's now a factory Ducati 1-2. Petrucci leading the way. Leader. Where's his closest rival, Mia? Way down in 15th right now.
Ducati wants Alex Rins there closing in on Cal Crutchlow. Rossi's race is over. He can't get the bike going again. What a disaster.
In that early shunt then at turn 3. Let's try and pick the bones out of this one. On the gas. And that really cost the 2 Suzukis, didn't it? Look at that, Rossi. Rear tyre just slipping out from underneath him. Oh, that's what happened to Viñales.
Magnificent to avoid all of that. Right, back at the front we go. Danilo Petrucci leads from Dovi, Miller. Then it's the circuit. Alex Rins, who was back on the podium. Look at him.
Well, with the Vizioso, they're strong in the rain conditions. Pol Espargaro just can't shake off Fabio Quartararo. Can him? Cal Crutchlow still doing in these wet conditions.
Down the hill into turn 7, it's still Petrux, as he's fondly known in the paddock, that leads. Then Pol Espargaro beside him, and he might just momentarily worry which Suzuki it is.
Yeah, and at the moment, Joan Mir not really having any. That means Rins up inside the top 5.
Miguel Oliveira and Alex Marquez are going well. 3.
Smith has now got himself onto the back of that battle involving Quartararo and Crutchlow. Simon, you got some tyre info?
Guys, Dovi softs off, same as everyone else, softs off until you get down to Rins, who's medium. Zarco
is in terms of the rain selection. Pol Espargaro a little bit twitchy on the KTM coming out the final corner. Cal Crutchlow now trying to Fabio Quartararo back another place.
Quartararo's in complete championship mode at this stage as Rins challenges Pol Espargaro and moves up into
19th place. He's doing 150s at the moment. Viñales, he's over 3 seconds slower. Pol Espargaro then wide now into La Chapelle. Good man on the circuit. Danilo Petrucci, 147.733. Couple of tenths quicker than Dovizioso.
Bradley Smith going around the outside here, but moving out of the top 8 soon.
Joan Mir had a bad lap last time around. He did a 51.3. And that's dropped him down so far, with Quartararo just about clinging on to 7th.
It's amazing, isn't it? In the dry, the 4 Yamaha. Quartararo's now down to 8th place. The 3 Ducatis are stretching their advantage. Danilo Petrucci with absolute.
Of course, this is massive for the championship with him. He can pounce on these lacklustre performances from Quartararo. Look at Oliveira, both of them. Now, Quartararo's got problems here because behind him as well are coming Taka Nakagami and Aleix Espargaro.
And look what it's doing.
Yamahas and then Morbidelli and Viñales. Viñales strikes through on Morbidelli. Just behind them is Joan Mir, who's trying to get in.
No one can touch these 3 at the moment. These 3 guys are all in the 146s. Nobody close to that right now.
Well, there was a spell when we had a few wet race. A certain Marc Marquez, Esquire, Danilo Petrucci and Andrea Dovizioso. So it's no great surprise to see these 2 men at the front. And with Miller and Dovizioso, they know these are huge World Championship points at stake, particularly when you see
on 114 points as it stands. Dovi would only be 10 behind. Miller, of course, back in the frame as well. In fact, Miller, this race has turned out, and there is so much time left as well.
These are going to be a very, very long 22 laps. Wet in Le Mans, and it's certainly very, very cold.
Well, Ducati fans on the fan wall, I bet you're liking what you see so far. Quicker than Jack Miller, but there's almost 3 seconds there to try and bridge, and there you go.
Quartararo, that was coming. You can see that coming, and Margro will have the number 20 in his sights as well. So Quartararo dumped out of the top 10. although not being
Man who is as fast as the race leaders right now, the rookie Alex Marquez
Brilliant.
in 8th place. He's lapping as quick as these 3 Ducati
tyres. The tyres were so grippy, he said it was hard actually to find where the limit was. Looks like he's found the limit right now. There he is on the number 73 bike, slow just behind him.
Range stopped again now on the start-finish straight, but is there enough time for anything to 6th place behind Pol Espargaro? Then it's Bradley Smith in 7th. He's just up ahead of number 73 of Alex Marquez and Miguel.
There is Alex Marquez, what a stellar job he's doing. Zero experience of wet weather rated FP1 in those rain conditions on Friday. Petrucci then still standing firm. Alex Rins has just set the fastest lap of the race. Rins,
yeah, you just wonder, don't you, if those medium tyres pay off as well in the latter stages of this one. If we do get, let's say, it's bone dry and you're going to gain like heaps of time on slicks, it doesn't feel like that could happen right now. But is this a master?
Petrucci. The problem is he's got 2.5 seconds to bridge to get on the coattails of Jack Miller. He's well clear. He's broken.
The rider just in the background at the top of your picture there, he's got into his groove far too late, but he's lapping well. Is Pecco Bagnaia
struggling still big style as Vinales, Morbidelli and Mir. They can't get anywhere near the 46s right now, that trio.
Alex Marquez up into 7th place, and through also goes Miguel Oliveira.
He was always a bit of a demon in rain conditions in Moto 2, wasn't he? Tight at the top, the 3 Ducatis, Petrucci, the Vizioso and Miller at the moment. 45.8 from Rins, half a second quicker than that trio ahead of him yet again.
Petrucci was a bit wide in turn 2, that's going to... Would there be team orders for Petrucci, given the positions in the championship of Dovi and Miller?
Our commentary box window, the rain starting to fall here again over the Bugatti circuit in Le Mans. Alex Rins has got some near the rhythm of Rins.
Yeah, Rins is going to be with these guys very soon. At the moment it's number 9, Danilo Petrucci, that leads, but so it is. Pol Espargaro is not far away, is he? Well, quite excited at the prospect of what he could do as Mir tries here to get into the points.
Well, we're going to get a flashback to 2007. Move as he made it stick this time on Jack Miller into turn 3. So Miller back into 4th place.
Who is not a million miles away from these 4. Davide Brivio. It was a wonderful weekend for Top Step.
Yeah, now this will give at least Miller the chance. Mir making light work of Vinales up the inside at turn 3. Rins down in the braking zone for Garage there. So Rins has got a big fight on his hands here. Twitch there as Miller got a bit.
Look how close these guys further back are. Alex Marquez and Pol Espargaro can smell not just a podium here, but maybe even a win. It started
Candice yet again at 1:44.6.
Well,
the only man anywhere near the 44s right now. It would be shock. I mean, can you imagine? We thought a Marquez and a Repsol Honda would win at some point this year. We didn't think it would be the number 73, but
race Alex Marquez a 44.2. That is 1.3 seconds quicker than the race leader Danilo Petrucci.
That lead quartet, they'd come from a long way back. The 2 Spaniards, former Moto 2 world champions Pol Espargaro and Alex Marquez. Plenty of time, ample time for Pol Espargaro and Alex Marquez to get themselves in this lead battle.
Rins again trying to find left in this French Grand Prix as yet, dropping down the hill into turn 8.
Yeah, you just wonder, don't you, with that content sitting there behind Danilo Petrucci, or is he pushing as hard as he possibly can to keep himself on the coattails of it?
He will know how strong and important this is for the World Championship, especially with Fabio Quattro's unit of that Red Bull factory KTM, the number 73.
Yeah. Well, you can't really rule out any rider in that top 8. There's a big gap. We've still got 10 laps to go here in Le Mans. It's still Petrucci that leads. Petrucci, Dovi, Miller and Rins all set their personal best out
in 7th. Amazing, isn't it?
GP bike in rain conditions before, and here he is dragging himself into contention.
Can hear an engine and a bike having gone down. Now it's no one from this top group because we're watching them, but someone has.
Every time you hear those Morbidelli, Franco Morbidelli's crash, and you think really that's going to be the end of his world title hopes. Morbidelli down then at turn to really get on terms to show Dovi a wheel yet. It's been as you were for quite some time.
It's into turn 3, isn't it?
Yeah, frustrating couple of days for Franco Morbidelli then of that Petronas Yamaha SRT machine. They're now back at the front. We're about to tick off lap number 17 and it's getting very tight. Petrucci and Dovizioso's made his move. Finally, Andrea Dovizioso has shown a front wheel to Danilo Petrucci. He's shown
on the exit. Miller again back through on the power on Alex Rins as well. This race is on here in France. Who wins this one? What's happened to Crutchlow? He's gone down. What a shame. He was in great rhythm. He was in 7th place.
You know what? There was a podium on the grid here.
Here
comes Petrucci.
Danilo, and he's going to go a bit deep here. This is going to allow Miller in, and here comes David Polisvago and Alex Marquez.
Yeah, they want a proper ding-dong, proper battle to rage in front of them. Now Rins trying to get it back up the inside. Oh, Dovi was in. Dovizioso got picked up by Rins and Miller on the inside. Polisvago and Alex Marquez, they're now in this lead group as well.
Turn 9, that was. And now Polisvago and Alex Marquez are in this. Well in it. And there'll be 8 orange disc.
There's something
wrong with the bike.
Something was dangling down the side of the bike, was it? Miller on the inside of Rins, brave into the first corner for Rins into turn 3.
Well, Dobby was the big loser there, wasn't he? Leading, coming out of turn 8, and now...
Look, Rins coming from way back. There was contact there between Dovi and Petrucci. How on earth did Alex Rins?
I'm not sure Miller will need to drop a place. He was 3rd going in. He kind of ended up 3rd on the way out, but Dovi will feel maybe differently about that.
Terms with the 3 men ahead of him. In fact, he's got his hands full now, keeping Polisvago at bay. Jack Miller's got a problem. Hand off from Jack Miller. I wasn't sure. Yeah. Miller.
What a disaster for his World Championship.
Can you believe it? How many more twists and turns?
A Repsol Honda win. What a shame you have to feel for Jack Miller. A great chance of winning.
It's Miller. Does anybody want to win this 2020 MotoGP World Championship?
How peculiar. I mean, it's another point that goes with that. Right. Rins is gone. In 2nd place, Suzuki's dreams of winning here.
And then at turn 3, we've seen that mistake so often down the years, and Alex Rins has crashed out of the podium. Come on.
Jack Miller is absolutely fuming with the motorcycle giving up on him.
Can you believe it's another cruel mechanical problem that's put him out? And Alex Marquez can win this French Grand Prix. Thriller Miller, well,
that Petrucci's got. We may well have Marquez versus Dovi again, but it's younger brother, the Moto2 world champ.
Ducati podium, unfortunately, after that exit for Jack Miller. Alberto Puig, Takeo Yokoyama look on. They know, doing an incredible job here, pressurising Andrea Dovizioso. Petrucci now starting to open up a significant gap.
4-3 from Petrucci, that's a brilliant lap from the number 9. Up through to turn 3 then.
And a way through on Maverick Vinales. These are vital World Championship points at stake between these two, aren't they?
But Vinales has had a disaster here today.
So far this year, Maverick Vinales. Wow, catch your breath. Miller out with a mechanical when on the podium. Rins out with a crash. Rins has got going again.
Rejoined, but you do wonder, don't you? No, that's a trap around the circuit with you, so I don't think the Rins will be continuing for much longer. Right, there are 6 laps to go here. Dovi on this lap experience here versus inexperience. It's the master and the apprentice in many ways.
It really is. 3. Alex Marquez with absolutely nothing to lose here. He's going to go for this. Andrea Dovizioso knows that, and in 11th place, Petrucci dropped back into the 45s. That is a very glum look.
Circuit is Johan Zarco in 7th. He's not close enough to have a say in this battle right now, but based on what we've seen in the last 10...
Dovi and Marquez, they both did 44.5s. In fact, Andrea Dovizioso having to dig deep here to keep Marquez the rookie.
You can see it's stopped raining. It's not drying, but there's not as much water on the surface at this moment in time. That's why
they're really reeling back in.
It would be so Dovi to win a race like this, wouldn't it? Miguel Oliveira just behind Polisvago. The 2 KTM men cannot be ruled out yet. The gap 1.7 seconds through sector 3.
Orange disc to tell him he's got a mechanical. He's obviously been so desperate to get back out of the action. He took some of the Marshall kit with him.
5, and Dovi, who did a 1:44.7 again. Zarco, a 43.511 from
Alex Rins then gets the message, and you can still see that strap. It's absolutely wrapped around the camera, isn't it? Or camera.
Well, that could be dangerous.
Yeah, that could be really
dangerous. That's the reason why. It's the right thing to do.
He's just finally noticed it, hasn't he?
Meanwhile, she is 1.6 seconds clear. In fact, it's now 1.3. Dovi and co are closing, and Pol Espargaro now.
Can you imagine? His guarantee he's even going to finish on the podium, let alone win this Grand Prix, because Dovi is dragging Marquez, Espargaro and Oliveira.
Witchy Red Bull KTM, aren't they? They can see that Pol Espargaro is on the brink here. He can see the race leader. He can see these guys are pulling off the seat there for Dovi.
He really was. Yeah, that was a big twitch. Alex Marquez would have seen that. A little bit of breathing space. 1.7 seconds the lead. Petrucci just picked up his pace on that last lap. He couldn't do a 44. Been stronger at the start of this race, then he would be right in the mix.
Here he comes then, side by side, Alex Marquez with up to 1.8, and Marquez is through. He's up into second place.
Oh, how many times have we seen that for brother Mark? Can Alex Marquez then now find a way through to claw back a 1.8 second deficit on Danilo Petrucci again?
Is he struggling for grip in the closing stages of this French Grand Prix?
Big switch as well from Marquez, and he got on the gas, had a garage there, they're all stuck.
Extend his championship lead.
Unbelievable. Absolutely incredible. We've packed in some serious drop, desperately trying to hang on to a podium, trying to salvage some crucial World Championship points. Takeo Yokoyama there looking on. He's going to be full of abra.
Now ready to pounce, isn't he, on the back of these? And look at the two behind.
Davizioso's got no rear grip, Steve. We just saw him there, spinning massively, coming out the final. It's like 8/10 slower than Alex Marquez.
Oh, look at Pol Espargaro.
Yeah, he's got no grip, Dovi.
Up the inside, and Dovi now not even on the podium.
No.
Alex Marquez is just 1.2 seconds down on Danilo Petrucci now. He's eating that gap alive. Another 4 or 5 laps and Johan Zarco could win this. He's stuck in another 43.3.
How many successive laps? Yeah, it's completely gone. Yeah, he's got nothing left underneath him. He's a passenger.
It's like chewing gum.
Yeah, he's a sitting duck right now. Nothing he can do. He can't attack.
And that just helps out Fabio Quartararo even more.
Dovi, though, does get the rear tyre hooked up enough to fight back on Oliveira. Seconds. Petrucci doing a fantastic job of keeping that 1.2 second buffer.
Surely Petrucci can hold on to a winner. Alex Marquez changed that. Pol Espargaro's got some speed here as well. And what can Dovi salvage? We start the 13.
So the gap there between Petrucci and Marquez, it stayed at that 1.2 seconds. Does Alex Marquez will result? I'll take that. Davizioso somehow is still keeping Miguel Oliveira behind him to hang on to 4th spot.
Outstanding.
And in conditions where we've seen even the very best get caught out, so easy to make a mistake, so easy to correct. Oh, Dovi again. Big rear wheel spin coming out of that far turn 7. It's the same for Oliver.
Coming to the closing stages of this MotoGP race in France, and it's now Petrucci's to lose. Further back, Stefan Bra, unbelievable. Quartararo then losing ground on Joan Mir, but it's all eyes at the front in the final sector. Danilo Petrucci, he has gone through last year as Mir and Quartararo scrap it out for, can you believe, 9th place.
You've got to say, Petrucci's been absolutely awesome.
Petrucci has won the French Grand Prix, and it is an iconic result for him. And what a race for Alex Marquez.
Because he's going to keep Viñales and Mir behind. Top 3 men in the championship come over the line together. Ecstasy down into the MotoGP bike in wet conditions before, and he takes a remarkable 2nd place. The plaudits will go to Petrucci.
For Ducati, because the 2 men they wanted to see win haven't because of the championship, but it's the 7th different winner in 9 races. Marquez.
And Alex Marquez, what an absolutely awesome performance. 18 congratulations from all around him. And what about HRC team manager Alberto Pujo? I'm sure he's delighted he's with Simon.
Alberto, what a stunning.
Clever, he went from down to progressively fast, and it was a very good race.
Danilo Petrucci, one of the most popular, likeable characters in the whole MotoGP World Championship.
Marquez, awesome. That is fantastic to see. What an outstanding effort from him.
Comes back into the pit lane 9th, but he increases his World Championship lead. He dug deep on that last lap to make sure that he kept Mir at bay. They were,
but you've actually extended your lead going into Aragon.
In those kind of conditions, mission first is to make sure you see the checkered flag, and that concentration, the focus that you need in a race like that where it's so easy to be caught out by a mistake. They'll sleep well tonight, the boys. A lot of work in that 45 minutes or so.
By the way, Zarco poached 5th from Oliveira on the line.
Marquez, because that was one of the rides of his life, and he's had a fair few.
It's an amazing story, isn't it? KTM of the year, and Ducati's first ever win in Le Mans in the hands of Danilo Petrucci.
I'd love to see some shots now of Marc Marquez left after watching younger brother Alex Produced, like we said, one of the rides of his life, the first Ducati rider to win at Le Mans. It's a smile that will take some time to be wiped off. There's Daniele Romagnoli, crew chief for Danilo Petrucci, all the Ducati management coming. He loves Le Mans, doesn't he? 3 successive front row starts, 3 successive podiums, and what a job by that man as well. Pol Espargaro by the Spaniard. Miguel Oliveira looked like he just, like Dovizioso, ran out of rear tyre in those crucial Laco. I think he's just saying there, as soon as I opened the throttle, wheel spin, and Zarco just came flying on through.
Zarco would have been poaching a few more places than just that one.
I mean, Zarco's speed in there. Look at Dovizioso again. Big switch on that.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, he said pre-race he was going to send it, and he was true to his word, wasn't he? Great job that by...
Thank you so much.
18th to 2nd in his first wet race.
Yeah, and coincidentally, the last podium for a ride.
And I'm so happy. I simply couldn't understand what I did.
Good for you, Danilo.
Dovizioso congratulating his teammate Danilo Petrucci. There's your current factory Ducati lineup, of course, 5 days' time. What a treat, though. The MotoGP field served up in really treacherous conditions here in Le Mans today. It's a second win, 18th a second for his first MotoGP podium. Congratulations as well to Pol Espargaro, Andrea Dovizioso, Johan Zarco, Miguel Oliveira. Juan Mir was 11th, Binder 12th ahead of Bagnaia, Aleix Espargaro and Iker Lecuona. A dramatic day for Alex Rins. He crashed out with and Valentino Rossi, the future teammates in Petronas Yamaha SRD. Rossi was down on the first lap at turn 3. Cal Crutchlow was going well as Quartararo on 115 points, 10 clear of Joan Mir. Quartararo 9th today, but did in fact increase his advantage.